A very good morning, my dear students, and welcome to Digital World of Pathania Public School, Rohtak. In last class, we are discussing about the computer system, and we have already discussed about the four functions of your computer system, and we have already discussed about the computer organization, how computer organization work, how your bus will be work, how your CPU will be work, how your input devices and your output will be work. So today's we are discussing each and every part uniquely. So first we are discussing about the input unit. What do you mean by the input unit? Input unit means which accept the data or which read the data from the outside the world, or you can say from the user, from the us. We can enter any text, any digits, any number. So input unit accept the data and read it and convert our data in the form of binary code, and then your data will be go to the CPU. So input unit accept the data from the outside the world. It can read your data from the outside the world, and then it convert your data in binary form. And what do you mean by the binary form? Binary means your 0 and 1. Computer only understand the binary language, only machine language, and your machine language is binary code 0 and 1 bit and bytes. It is formed by attaching various input devices to a computer. How input unit can accept the data, read the data? Input unit always read the data with the help of input devices. Where, for example, your so many input devices are there. First one is your keyboard, second is your mouse, scanner, joystick, touch pen, light pen. So many input devices are there. First, we are talking about the keyboard. What do you mean by the keyboard? Keyboard is a typewriter. What do you mean by the keyboard? Keyboard is a typewriter like device which is used to type the letters, digits, the commands, and etc. And what do you mean by the mouse? Mouse is also a input device, but specifically we say that mouse is a pointing device with either a roller on its base or some laser mechanism. Uh, so again, mouse is a pointing device with either a roller on the surface on the base or some other mechanism also. And in mouse, two or maybe two buttons or maybe three buttons. One is your left button and second is your right button. So when you want to execute your command, then you can use the left mouse button, and when you want to see the list only, then you can use the right mouse button. And if you want to scroll your text from up to down, then you can use your scroll button. And so mouse has two, and maybe some mouse have three buttons. And third one is your scanner. Scanner is also an input device which is used to enter the image, which is used to enter the page, which is used to enter the text in the form of your page to the computer system. So in overall we can say that input unit accept the data from outside the world. It can read it and convert the data in machine language and send your data to the CPU. Now our second unit is output unit. What do you mean by the output unit? It sends result to outer world. So output unit, with the output unit, your data will be given to the outside the world. Your result will be display on your output devices, on your output unit. Output unit, what is the functioning of your output unit? Output unit always accept the data from the CPU. Output unit always accept the data from the CPU, and it again convert the data in human readable form, because CPU only understand the binary. So input unit convert the data into binary, and CPU process all the data, and now output unit accept the data in the form of binary and then convert your data in the human readable form, and then given the result to the outside the world. It is formed by attaching output device. How it all process will be done by the output unit? Output unit do all these activity with the help of output devices. So many output devices are there. For example, monitor, printer, speaker, plotter. So many output devices are there. So first we are talking about the monitor. Monitor is a screen. Monitor is a screen, or you can say monitor, is a video visual display unit, is most common form of output from a computer. It display information in a similar way to that shown on a television screen. So monitor is just like your TV screen. So you can display, you can see your data on your monitor. And what do you mean by the printer? Printer is also your output device. It deliver information by means of printed character on the paper. If you want hard copy of your data, then you can use the printer. And what do you mean the speaker? Speaker receive the sound. Speaker receive the sound in the form of electric current. Speaker receive the sound in the form of electric current from the sound card and then convert it to sound format audio to users. So speaker convert your voice, speaker convert your sound to current to the user listen voice. So your next now input unit and output unit both are completed. Now our next unit is CPU. Here is the full form of the CPU. CPU means central processing unit. We can also say that CPU is your processor. What do you mean by the processor? Which process your complete functioning, which process the complete data and information of your computer. So we can also say that CPU is the brain of your computer. It is the main center and processing unit of computer system. So the main center point of your computer system is your CPU. Without CPU, your computer is zero. So many processors are there. For example, Intel Core i3, Intel i7, and the latest is your Intel i9, etc. So the main computer organization is input unit, output unit, and memory unit. We can discuss later. And this is your CPU. We can also say that this is your processor. And three main parts of your CPU are there. One is your control unit, second is your arithmetic unit, and third one is your register. Now we are discussed in detail. CPU, three parts of CPU are there. One is your ALU, second is your CU, and third one is your register. What do you mean by the ALU? ALU stands for arithmetic logical unit. ALU perform the mathematical operation. ALU perform the four arithmetic operation. For example, plus, minus, multiply, or divide. And some logic operators are there: less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, and so on. So ALU, the main functioning of the ALU is to perform the mathematical and logical operations. For example, if you want to input the two digits, for example 4 plus 4, you can input the 4 plus 4. So ALU always accept data from the memory. So memory send the data to the ALU, then ALU can add these two values. ALU can put the result. For example, 4 plus 4 is equal to 8, and then again ALU given your data, your result to the memory. So memory send your data to the ALU. ALU process the data. For example, calculation 4 plus 4 is equal to 8, and then again this 8 ALU sent to the memory. For logical operations also, the number of numbers to be compared are sent from memory to ALU, where the operation takes place and result is returned to the memory. Same like the arithmetic operations, same like logical operator, the number to be compared are sent from the memory to ALU, and again where the operation take place, and the again result is returned to the memory. The result of a logical operator is either true or false, either 0 or 1 always. So when logical operators, and what is the result and what is the output of the logical operator? Logical operator always give the result to the true and false. It provides the capability, you can say it provides the power of decision making to the computer. So the main operations performed by the ALU. So now the CPU second part is CU. CU stands for control unit. CU is like a manager. So, for example, we can say CPU gives a manager and the name is control unit. It manages all the functioning of your computer. Your main functioning of the computer managed by the control unit, and all functioning done by the ALU. CU acts as a supervisor. It control and guide the data and information. Your complete data and information guided and controlled by the control unit. And your next unit is register. We can say register is a part of your control unit. Actually, it is a part of control unit. It is a high speed temporary storage area in the CPU. So this is your storage. This area, this register is used for the storage. Temporary storage area in the CPU is your registers. It work as per the instruction given by the control unit. As control unit say, register can be do their work. Storing instructions and data. The main functioning of register is storing instructions, store your data, storing address of a location in the memory. So the storage work done by your registers, and it can be in different size. Before last years, your registers it 8-bit, but now in these days your register is 16-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit, and so on. So in concluded way, we can say that your computer is mainly three things. One is your input unit, output unit, and memory. Second is your CPU, and third one is your bus. So bus is travel your data from one component to another component. So here we are completely discuss about the input unit, output unit, CPU, and bus. Now we are discussing about the memory. What do you mean by the memory? Two types of memories are there. One is your primary memory, and second is your secondary memory. But before this, we are discussing about the measurement of memory. We are discussing about the measure. So now let's discuss about the memory units, measurement of your computer memory. The smallest unit of memory is your binary digit, means 0 or 1. Only one digit is there, either is 0 and either is 1. And your second is your 8 bits. When your 8 bits will be combined, then we can say 1 byte. 0101, 801, and 8 bits. A combination of 8 bits is your 1 byte. And the combination of 4 bit is your nibble. The smallest unit is your bit. Only one bit is there, 0 either 1. And the 4 bit is your nibble. And your 8 bit is your byte. And 1024 byte is your 1 kilobyte. And 1024 kilobyte is your 1 megabyte. And 1024 megabyte is 1 gigabyte. And 10 gigabyte is your 1 TB, and the full form of TB is your terabyte. And 1024 TB is your 1 PB, and we can say the petabyte. And 1024 petabyte is equal to 1 exabyte, and 1024 exabyte equivalent to 1 zettabyte. And 1024, the combination of 1024 zettabyte is equal to 10 yottabyte. And the 1024 yottabyte is equal to 1 byte, byte, and 10 byte is equal to 1 geobyte. And the highest and the latest unit of your memory, computer memory, is your geobyte. So the smallest unit of memory is your bit, and the highest unit of memory is your geobyte. And for combination of 4 bit is your nibble, and combination of 8 bit is your 1 byte, and collection of 1024 byte is your 1 kilobyte, and collection of 1024 terabyte is your petabyte, and the latest unit is your geobyte. Latest unit of your memory is measurement of the memory. You can say units of the memory is your geobyte. Geobyte is the highest memory. Uh, Now we are discussing about the main point, memory. Memory unit is used to store the data. Mainly your data will be stored in your memory. In human being have two types of memory. One is your STM, and one is your LTM. STM means short term memory, and LTM means long term memory. Same like that, in computer system, two types of memory are there. One is your primary memory and second is your secondary memory. In secondary memory, we can also say your storage devices. And primary memory, we can also say the main memory of your computer system. And your primary memory can be divided into two parts. One is your RAM and second is your ROM. Now, what do you mean by the RAM and what do you mean by the ROM? RAM means random access memory. RAM is your random access memory. We can also say that RAM is your volatile memory, means temporary memory. So RAM is your volatile memory. RAM is your read and write memory. RAM is your random access memory. So your data first will be stored in your RAM. It is very fast and it is very expensive also as compared to the ROM. And what do you mean by the ROM? ROM is your read-only memory. We can say that when your data will be stored in BIOS, basic input-output system, that will be your ROM. So ROM is your read-only memory. It is your permanent memory. We can say it is your permanent memory, but it is not more expensive than the RAM. It is less expensive. And RAM, always your data will be gone and given to your RAM, and so after sometimes your data, when you save your data will be converted into ROM. And RAM have further divided into two types. One is your DRAM, say dynamic RAM, and second is your SRAM, of your static RAM. And same like ROM are also further divided into so many parts. One is your PROM, programmable read-only memory. Second is your EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. And third is your EEPROM, flash EPROM, mask ROM. And we are discussing all these ROMs and RAMs in the next lecture. Thank you everyone.